Katie, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever wanted to go fast?
Maybe lightning fast?
Yeah, like so fast that you take on big tech and big oil at the same time?
Maybe once or twice. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice. Well, you're about to get smoked
Oh my
by
goodness.
the lightning.
Okay, so you're gonna have to start us off. We're talking about cars, so.
No, we're not talking about cars.
Alright,
We're talking about lightning. So, as we all know, I can't drive. So, why are we talking about a movie about cars? I don't know.
I can't drive either,
Why's that?
because I suck.
Okay, well that's unfortunate. So, okay, what was your experience with cars? My experience with cars is that I was, like 6 years old? It came out, 2006? 2007?
Yeah, 2006.
Something like that? I love cars. It was so cool.
It was, I mean, as a little girl, it wasn't my favorite movie. Just because I liked things that were more colorful and not about
More
boy
colorful
stuff.
cars.
But I still did really like the movie, mostly because I liked Lightning McQueen. I thought he was really cool.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, I really liked it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It wasn't until I watched it a lot later that I realized he was just a big jerk for like half the movie.
Yes. Yes. He is objectively a bad dude.
So I'm rewatching the first one. I noticed a few just weird things. Like what we were talking about earlier. I hate that they have tongues that stretch out so far.
That seems so minimal to the story, though.
I know,
I feel
but
like
it's just, I can't get over it. I literally can't get over it. It's... Ugh. I hate it. Oh my gosh. I literally hate it. First of all, can you give me a recap over what the first one is about? Just
so
quick.
essentially, and it's now that I'm older and watching it, it's kind of interesting to see Lightning McQueen's story, but essentially he's a rookie competing. Oh, I missed it. Competing in the Piston Cup as a rookie, and he could become the first rookie to ever win the Piston Cup in his first year. And so that's kind of what it's about. And I can't tell if he's like a big deal or if he's not a big deal, because he seems like a pretty big deal.
I think
But then his
is.
agent like doesn't even act like he gives him a second glance.
I don't know. I feel like he is a big deal just because like the way that everybody's talking about him during the race. Like I'm watching the beginning again right now.
Yeah.
And they're all acting
and-
like he's crazy, he's awesome, you know. So I think that the agent is just like whatever, messed up guy, doesn't really understand what's going on.
I think you're right. Probably the classic like busy LA type. But Cars has one of the greatest intros up to a movie of like all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they bring you up to speed so quickly. No pun intended. And so, like, you know very quickly who Lightning McQueen is, what the stakes are for this race, what that means for his career. And then you find out, oh, the problem isn't the race. The problem is just Lightning. Like, he's just a jerk. And that's really the big problem here.
Yeah. I really like the green car. What's his name again?
Chick Hicks?
Yes. I like him.
Why?
He's funny.
Well, okay. But he's also, like, a huge jerk. He definitely, like, almost killed that car.
Yeah. Takes guts.
He didn't even realize what happened. And then he's like, what's everyone talking about?
Hey, I like him.
Why? No, all of your opinions from this point forward are just null and void. I mean, I guess if you want to like actual menaces to society, go right ahead. It's just not for me.
Okay, well, who do you want me to say? What's the right
Who do
choice, Josiah?
Oh, dear Lord, don't even try, dude.
Don't even try what?
I'm trying to focus on winning the Piston Cup.
I've gotten first every race so far.
That's why I need to focus. What do you mean? If it was effortless.
Trash race. Why'd you pick this one?
Trash race. Excuse me?
Trash course.
Excuse me. Well, yeah, kinda. Because I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't play Mario Kart. Because I suck at it.
So, the blue guy, what's his name? Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to help me with all of their names.
His
blue
name is
guy.
the King.
The King?
Yeah, I don't remember his real name,
He's
but
like
they call him the King.
Dinoco or whatever. He was Shaylin's favorite car when we were little.
Oh,
I don't know.
that makes so much sense.
She's probably
That makes
gonna
so
deny
much
it
sense.
when she hears about this, but I remember it being her favorite car, or we always said that she would be that car if she was one of them.
She absolutely would.
Is he a good guy? I don't.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Like,
okay.
He's like the guy who's like about to retire. It's his last race, and he's like a victim at the end.
Oh right, yeah, and doesn't Lightning McQueen like push him to the end?
Yeah, which that's also an interesting plot thread. Of like, is there a reason why Lightning couldn't have finished the race and then pushed him?
Yeah, I mean, I think the point was.
Why? No, I understand the point, but we're talking logically here. He literally gave up not just the Piston Cup, but after watching it, I realized he gave up being the first rookie ever to win the Piston Cup. So it's not
Yeah.
like he can go back and do it again.
Yeah,
You know, like he literally can't ever do that again.
kind of dumb.
Kind of dumb in my IMO.
Yeah, green car wins. Green car should have won.
He did. That's literally the whole point, is that he won at the end.
I forgot about that.
He wins. That's the whole point. Oh, for your favorite car, you don't remember his arc very well. And why is he like, he's never seen again.
Yeah, that's right.
Ever.
Maybe he retired after that.
I mean, maybe. By the time Cars 3 comes around, McQueen has won 7 Piston Cups. So maybe Lightning McQueen was just so dominant. He just quit.
He just couldn't win. He gave up. Oh, I do have an interesting point. I realize why I don't like Cars 2
Why is that?
is because it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like it,
What?
because it feels like
What?
it feels like a spin-off like episode of a show. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Feel like a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like
I
a
would
movie.
argue the opposite. Like,
It's
I
too
feel like
much
it
like
may
a
not. It may. It's too much. No, there's like a ton of backstory in just the beginning of the movie. They set up this plot so magnificently. There's like mega corporations with ill-begotten gains and shadowy interests, and a mega societal problem with old cars feeling like they are no longer relevant, being replaced. Like, and then they're trying to assassinate Lightning McQueen with a camera that literally turns the oil inside of him into fire. Like, what?
Yeah, but like
It's kind of crazy.
it's like that's what I'm saying is like it's so out there that it seems like you know that those shorts that they did like Mater's Tall Tales or something.
Tales?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Like it feels like it's so out there that it's just like a spin-off, you know. And I think the weird thing is that they focus on Mater instead of Lightning McQueen is kind of maybe what is throwing me off. Like, I really enjoyed the parts where it was Lightning McQueen. Like, you know, the races were cool, and I liked those parts. I do kind of like the idea that, like, you know, Lightning McQueen is, like, such a threat that they want to get rid of him or whatever. I like that because that's really cool. But I don't know. It just felt like there wasn't enough focus on Lightning McQueen, who's supposed to be the main character in Cars.
But Michael Caine's in it. I'm trying to figure out I see where you're coming from, because I don't know. Would it be as much of an issue if they didn't have Mater's tall tales?
I don't know. I think their biggest issue is they took the comic relief and made him the star. And so there wasn't really that big of, like, Lightning McQueen, his arc is very, like, he has a very, like, you could see a very big difference from the Lightning McQueen from the beginning of the movie to the Lightning McQueen at the end of the movie. And that's what makes the movie, I think, is you can see how much he changed, and it's, like, very, like, cute and makes you all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But it's like with Mater is, I mean, I guess they do talk, like, it is kind of like feel confident in yourself. Isn't that what, like, the message is,
Kinda, yeah.
Or, like, don't count the dumb one out or something. I don't know. But to me, that was kind of what made the first Cars, was Lightning McQueen and his arc. And that's kind of like what I was saying. Like, as a kid, that was why I liked the movie, was because I liked Lightning McQueen. And I never liked Mater. And so I think
right.
I think that's also the same problem with, like, Minions, the movie Minions. I've seen some of it, but I haven't seen all of it. But, like, you take the funny character and you make a whole movie about them, it kind of loses a lot from the first movie,
Man, I finished in 11th place.
Yeah. Hey, you're still up there, though.
I don't need you to lie to me.
You were like...
You don't have to lie to me.
You were like 5th place.
I'm trying to figure out if Cars 2 is a bad movie or if it is a bad Cars movie. We've already had this conversation. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because I like the idea of bringing politics into things that don't need politics. Like, I just find that so entertaining. Like, why do we need this mega corporation in this movie whenever it's a kids movie, and we don't need that.
Right.
But they do it so well. Like, they found a whole portion of like actual cars, like in real life, that would feel disaffected by the changes in technology, and gave them power. And it's so. This may not in the movie's best interest for me to make this argument, but there's torture in the movie.
That is true. It has very, like, almost, I wouldn't say dark themes, but, like, it is kind of dark. Yeah. I mean, I really like that first scene, and you were going to roll your eyes at this, but I really like that first scene where it's like, or maybe that's not the first one, but they're blowing up the spiral, like, road thingy, and it's just blowing up from the bottom all the way up to the top. I love that scene.
Yeah.
I got second place. No.
Oh, no.
No.
How the mighty have fallen. Oh, and then the twist at the end.
What? What twist at the end?
The twist.
Oh, the twist.
Cars 2. No, not just that. The fact that Mater was able to figure it all out. All of them were able to figure it out. And the Sarge had swapped all in all with Fillmore's organic fuel, and that's why the camera didn't blow it up. Lightning McQueen up.
Okay, yeah, I do like that part.
Like, not only is it like a quote-unquote twist villain, which it's like, okay, I mean, whenever I watched it, I think I remember being like, oh my gosh, but I was like 11 years old.
Mm-hmm, right.
But even just that one small part where, like, he orchestrated the whole thing. But I mean, we're probably just going to have to agree to disagree on which one's the worst. Because I think we like them for different reasons. And so...
Oh wait, you think the third one is the worst? Is that what that
That's
is?
what I think. That's what I think. Now, and it could just be because I've only seen it, like, once or twice. And maybe if I watched it again, I would like it. But whenever it came out, I was 17. Like, so I was
really?
definitely...
Wait,
yeah,
what year did it come out?
2017.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was over 10 years after the first one.
Dang.
Kind of nuts. I'm more interested in, like, the science of the cars. Like, there's so many questions. Like you were talking about how... Is there a factory of them?
Right, yeah.
Like, how are they...
Are there baby cars? And if they're baby cars, then how did they get there?
There has to be. There has to be. Because Lightning's a rookie. What does that mean?
And
It means he's a young car.
Doc is old.
Yeah. What about Sally? Like, the way that they use her is very weird to me. It's very sporadic. Like, she's really critical to Lightning's development and all that. Okay, sure. But she just is super forgiving of Lightning, and then she doesn't go to watch his races.
Mm-hmm.
She's not there at the end of Cars 1 at the race. She doesn't go with them in Cars 2 to Japan.
Wait. She is there at the end of Cars 1. Isn't she?
Not at the race.
What?
She stays back with the fire engine in the old car.
What? Wait, actually?
Yeah, actually.
What?
And I'm like, okay, maybe she felt like she needs to stay with the introverts or, whatever. But why not have, like, Flo do that? Your boyfriend's playing in the Piston Cup. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. What is a better use of her character?
Oh my. Wait, are you sure she's not there?
She's not there. I just watched it today.
What? Yeah, I think she was a character that should have been used more, especially in Cars 2. I think she didn't get what she deserved. She didn't get the screen time she deserved.
She doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
This seems like she is the reason why Lightning changed. Like, are you making that argument, or are you saying that Radiator Springs is what made him change? Which, it could be both, but he doesn't act like that.
Yeah.
He acts like, because he does all the things for the townspeople right before everyone finds him again and swarms the town. He does all these things to impress Sally.
Maybe it's the type of story that's like, Sally was the reason, but then it became the town, you know?
But the issue with that is that that's the last thing he does before he leaves. And he's like looking for her approval.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever he does all those things. And somehow he's an electrician. I know that his name is Lightning, but he's not an electrician. He fixed all their neon lights. Like Sally even says, she's like, he fixed the lights. How does he know how to fix lights?
That is true.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to doubt the rookie, but jeez.
Okay, I was looking at the Cars 3 trailer, like when that first came out. I love that trailer. The first one where it just shows him like flipping and getting destroyed.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
I love that.
I did like that. And in Cars 1, they do a really good job with Doc Hudson. I think he's one of the underrated parts of that film. Because there's a scene because he's the one who calls the paparazzi to Radiator Springs. And so there's a scene where all the lights go out after everyone's gone and everyone's mad at him. And he's just sitting at the intersection with the blinking yellow light above him. And it's just silence. And then it cuts to the race. And then he's the pit chief, the pit crew chief.
Yeah.
Whenever he watches the king go through an accident just like his, and the look on his face is just one of like shock. Like it cuts deep for him.
Yeah.
And then Lightning pushing him across the finish line is what Doc, could have used whenever he was in his accident.
Right.
It's like it's just so good. It's so underrated.
So then why don't you like the third one? Because like
What are you talking about?
the third one is a lot about like Lightning McQueen. It's like the parallels thing with Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson, you know?
Yeah, but you got rid of Doc a while ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
And the problem with Cars 3 is that he goes to Doc Hudson's mentor, who has to be older than Doc Hudson.
Yeah. I was weirded out about that.
Like, I'm sorry, you got rid of the emotional attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Especially whenever you already have the symmetry of him helping a car who got in an accident at the end of the first film, and it's so beautifully done. It's like, no one cares now. Like, yes, he's in an accident, and it's a personal thing because it's Lightning McQueen. But the whole back and forth where it's like, he's like training with the rookie, and he's trying to sign, and there's all these like contracts and stuff like that are going on, and then he's in the race, and then she tries to leave, and then they switch places.
Yeah. Like, is that even allowed?
I mean, obviously it's allowed, according to the film, because they do it. But it is cool how, like, he wears Doc's colors at the end.
Yeah.
Which I get it. And then they try to bring back Rusty's, like it's some big deal. It's like, everything that happened in Cars 1 is there for a reason, and it's done well. Like, he helps the king, which is symmetrical of Doc's injuries. He sticks with Rusty's because he knows that they gave him his big break, and he's going to stick with them just because, you know, he's not going to leave just because he may get a slightly better offer somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I get you want to expound upon that, but you did it so well in like the final minutes of Cars 1. I don't really think it's necessary. And I do like, I like how he's passing the torch. That's cool.
Okay. So that's this. Okay. That's, I guess, kind of why I don't like Cars 2. Another point to that. It just doesn't seem like it's in the same Cars.
Right, but my argument is that they already told everything they needed to tell in that arc. Lightning McQueen is a better person. He's a better guy.
I just feel like there is a whole side story with Lightning McQueen that they could have made into its own movie instead of having Mater in the spy stuff.
I'm sure, but it would have to be like, how do you, would you rather them have, what would they do with the second movie if the third movie is going to be him passing the torch? Would it be the first movie is him and then the second movie is him as a guy who's retiring? Like, what do you do with the second movie and have a full second movie worth of substance? You know?
Well, like, they could have just focused on, like, the whole, what was it, like a world tour or something?
Sure. Then you have, but then you have to have a
that.
compelling story. Like, what's the plot thread? Lightning McQueen's a good guy now. He likes the people of Radiator Springs. You have to have tension. So is it tension with Mater, which they did pretty well in Cars 2, of like, Mater isn't built for this. There's a reason why Lightning doesn't take him whenever he goes on tour. And that tension kind of is what reaches a breaking point in the film. And it's also Mater being able to figure out how does he fit in Lightning's life whenever he's going off doing all this stuff and he's still in Radiator Springs. What's his purpose? His best friend is a worldwide superstar. So, because one of the things that pulls at your heartstrings is the people in Radiator Springs. And yeah, they're not all going to be main characters, but Doc Hudson was pretty prominent. Like, I would have been fine if he was a main character. Like, if you would consider him a main character because he was that good.
Well, like, then what if they made it, you know, a story with... I just think Mater was such a bad move. Like, they could have gone with, like, you know, the tension was with Sally or something, or bring Doc back or something like that, you know? It just, I feel like Mater was such a bad move that it ruins the movie.
I think Mater was the only move, though. I don't think you can have a whole movie with tension between Lightning and Sally. Unless they have children.
Which is a whole nother thing.
I just don't, I think he's the only character you can do that with.
I
don't see another option.
I don't think they did do it. Like, I don't think there was any other option including Mater. Like, I think that was just such a bad move.
You think that a second movie just shouldn't have happened?
Yeah.
Or then you think Cars 1 should have been just a one-off?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I think it should have just been
that brings a little bit
Cars.
of a different perspective.
I mean, yeah, it should have been either just Cars and then, like, maybe, you know, a long time down the road, Cars 3 comes out. But
it's Cars 2.
even without Cars 3, like, I think I would let go of Cars 3 if it meant Cars 2 didn't exist. I just really don't like
Cars
that
2
movie.
is not. I just don't think it's that bad. I
It's
think if you
in
make
the
a sequel, I think if you make a sequel, Mater is the only logical choice. I can't think of another one.
Besides McQueen, besides Lightning, like
Yeah, but you gotta give me a good story. Like, if you're gonna do Lightning again, that's fine. You just have to give me a good story. And Cars 3 looks like they absolutely milked it for every single good story and plot point you could possibly have.
I mean,
But I also think Cars 2 was pivotal for showing Lightning's development as a racer, his career. You see him at the top of his game. He is the prominent racer in the world. It does wonders for him as a character. And then that way you can see the peak, and then in Cars 3, you can see him finally passing the torch. So it does something for Lightning McQueen, and it does something for his understanding of Mater. The tension between Lightning McQueen and Mater is that Mater doesn't know what his purpose is. He doesn't fit in with Lightning McQueen's life, trying to explore that, and Lightning trying to support him in that, and then eventually he saves his life by being himself. And Lightning coming to terms with that and being grateful for that, even if it's inconvenient at times. So there's some development there.
I mean, okay. Well, would another option that would maybe succeed for Cars 2 instead of Mater, do you think they'd be able to bring in a new character that wasn't Mater?
Well, they did that in Cars 3.
And I think they did that pretty well.
But like, whenever anything would happen with that character, I wouldn't hardly feel anything. You know? The way that Cars 2 made me feel things whenever Mater is like struggling with being himself and just trying to fit in with Lightning. Bringing in a new character, Cars 3, I don't remember caring about that character. Because it's not Lightning.
Well, I think it was more of she wasn't there to be the main character. She was there to support Lightning McQueen. So whenever you would feel something, it was normally like from Lightning's perspective. You know, like he's seeing himself in her, you know?
Okay, so then a Cars 2 would have to be an external character impacting him in the same way, but he's still the main character.
Yes, yeah.
I just don't know how you would do that. And then follow it up with Cars 3. A Cars 3 movie where he passes the baton off.
Yeah.
Which I think if you're going to do a sequel, you have to have.
Yeah. I don't know. You think that Mater did well?
Do I think Mater did well?
Yeah, like you think they did a good job with Mater being the main
I don't
character.
think they did anything wrong with him.
Okay.
I think that showing characters struggling with being friends with someone who's like a massive success, and these characters that are not your run-of-the-mill protagonists is important. Like, Lightning McQueen is a natural protagonist. He's very good at what he does. The only flaws he has is that he's arrogant about how good he is, but he's legitimately good. Mm-hmm. And so the movie about him, like, you know, coming down to his roots and stuff, it's like every Hallmark movie ever.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, city girl comes to the suburbs for Christmas.
Right.
Because their plane is canceled. And, oh, no, Mr. Perfect is here. And she might stay. But, oh, no. What's going to happen? She got the biggest deal of her life from her publisher. Oh, no. You know, like...
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's about. And that it's fine. It works great in that movie. Mm-hmm. But you also need the unlikely heroes. And I think that that's important. I think that it did a better job. This is not a one-to-one comparison, but it did a better job of elevating a secondary character into the primary role than Stranger Tides did with Jack Sparrow. I don't know if you've seen that. Mm-mm. But Jack Sparrow is not supposed to be a main character.
Wait,
he's not.
Wait, what is it from?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, Jack Sparrow. Is he Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Wait, he's not supposed to be the main character?
Not really.
What?
Like, he is the type of person, a character that happens to everyone else. Will and Elizabeth are supposed to be like the main characters. And so then what happens in On Stranger Tides, at least that's my impression. Whenever I watch the movie, I don't think it's about Jack Sparrow. I don't. He's the same guy. At the end of from the beginning of the first movie to the end of the third movie, which is like the original, like the first three, the trilogy, at the end of At World's End, he's the same dude. Nothing's really changed for him. But Will and Elizabeth go through this massive, massive character arc. And what is in his past comes after them and impacts the main characters. It's really interesting. But On Stranger Tides tried to make Jack Sparrow the main character, and it just didn't do well. It didn't work. It just didn't work. For me personally, I don't like that movie. But I've always compared those two because both movies take a character that's not a main character, and one does it well, and the other doesn't. Like, I may feel for Jack Sparrow, but I feel for him in the movies where he's not the main character. I don't care what happens to him on Stranger Tides, because it just doesn't, it's not compelling.
Yeah.
Cars 2 made me feel something for Mater. It made me feel like he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what else to do besides be himself, because he's only been in Radiator Springs this whole time. And he's not your traditional protagonist, and he's not your traditional hero, but he's trying hard to be there for Lightning, his only friend he's ever had. But it could be a false equivalence, like where I'm just saying, oh, this is good because another movie was worse. Like, that's not really an argument.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess when I was watching the movie, and I've only seen it twice because I didn't like it, but when I was watching it, I just kind of was frustrated the entire time with Mater, because I was like, he's not even trying, he's just, I don't know. To me, it was just frustrating to see him constantly be messing up and not seeing what's going on, I don't know, if that makes sense. And that was what was frustrating to me, is as a Lightning McQueen fan,
Stan.
Yeah, I was upset because Lightning was upset. I felt more for Lightning. I felt more for Lightning than I felt for Mater.
I don't think Cars 2 is the greatest movie in the trilogy by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, so we can both agree that Cars 1 is the best.
Yes.
So yes, yeah,
yes.
That one's...
And I think we might even be able to get to a point to where I will concede that Cars 3 is the better movie for the trilogy. That may be a better way to put it. That Cars 3 is the better movie for the three movies that were made and the cohesive story they're telling. But to say Cars 2 is a bad movie, I don't see myself ever getting on board with that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think Cars 2... Another thing I would say about it is it doesn't do very great when it comes to being consistent with the world, Like, Cars, the first Cars, everything's, like the Cozy Cone is like garages, Everything's kind of built for cars. But in Cars 2, like, I was watching a few scenes, you can see some things, like, there are these little, like, fences, and I'm like, no, those are for people, Like, those aren't
little
for cars.
fences?
Yeah, like, they were, like, little fences, like, beside houses and stuff. And I'm like, a car, that's way smaller than a car. Like, that's for people. Like, there are a few things like that. And, like, certain doors in houses or windows in houses, I'm like, that's too small. That's for people, not cars. So it kind of did the same thing that, like Elementals did. Where they kind of just, like, through crazy characters in a normal world, Which I guess it wasn't super normal because there was a lot of other things, like the spiral ramp that exploded, which was really cool, and I liked that scene a lot.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember those parts because I was literally just about to say that Cars 2 does more for the world building than Cars 1 does.
Really?
In the sense that you see the rest of the world and how it would operate if it was in the world of Cars. Oh, I get it. Turn right to go left.
I was watching a video that was talking about Cars, and they were like, it has Wait, his name's Owen Wilson, right? That's the guy?
Yep. Wow.
They're like, he's the guy who invented the word wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow. Ka-chow.
I don't know. Overall, it's a very fun movie. I like
It is a fun movie.
the first Cars a lot. I wouldn't just on my own watch Cars 2 or 3, but I would
Okay.
watch the first Cars.
I got lost to Toadette.
And Toad.
Bro, no, that doesn't count.
Alright.
Do you remember the time whenever he runs out of gas? And
Yes.
he doesn't realize he's about to run out of gas?
Yes.
Like, he just doesn't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a terrifying thought. Does he just
Yeah, like,
not
he just-
have a way to tell, or does he just not pay attention?
Maybe he wasn't paying attention? I guess that's a valid point.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't they take his gas? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, they siphoned it. Yeah, which is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is literally like, oh, we just siphoned your gas while you were sleeping last night. What are you talking about?
Literally.
What are you talking about?
Literally, so weird.
You just snuck up and siphoned the gas right out of him? How does that work?
Weird. It's so weird.
So messed up.
This is my favorite part. Oh my gosh. It's when Doc is like racing around by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
See, that's why Cars 1 is so good.
It's
And
so
this is
good.
a minor.
It's so
This is
good.
a minor thing, but do you remember the scenes with all the water? It looks so good.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been noticing when I'm watching this movie. It's like the animation is so good.
And I feel like it's not that good anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know
yes.
what happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. For some reason I just feel like they haven't gotten watered down recently. So do you think that there's a car heaven? Is there a car Jesus? Oh, we have cracked the code. We have cracked the code.
What happened?
It said a communication error had occurred. Which really just sounds like the same thing people say when they're talking to their spouse. I'm sorry, I will need to reboot before we can finish this conversation.
Ooh. Cars can cuddle.
Can they cuddle and snuggle?
I think they can.
Oh, I think they can.
I think
they can.
Wait, what? Why do they have wait, huh? He's on a phone call right now. But there's like little buttons
Yep.
to press the numbers. How would anybody press those numbers?
His tongue.
Oh.
Maybe it has a purpose after all, huh?
Oh, I hate that.
It's not very sanitary. You think cars can get like COVID and stuff? Probably, right? Do you think that's why there wasn't a Cars 4? They all had COVID?
COVID. Can cars get sick?
I don't know. They definitely have sinuses because Mater wakes up and it's like all stuffy.
Right. It's just a lot about this movie that disturbs or confuses me, and I hate it. Like, there's no good answers. Like for we were talking about Bluey the other day, and
Okay.
we were like, you know, all of this makes sense because it's just like in a world where dogs are the dominant species, you know, like there's no
Yeah.
humans, it's just dogs. So they can have other animals, but dogs are the dominant ones. But Cars doesn't make sense. It's like the same thing like Mickey Mouse, you know? Like, all these animals can talk and walk around, but Pluto doesn't. Pluto's just a normal dog. And so it's like, you know, there's these normal cars and then cow cars and bug cars. So they have ice cream in this world.
Yep.
So does that
Oh.
imply that those cow cars make milk?
You can milk cars. How would you how would you milk a car? Or how would you milk a tractor?
You don't. That's
No,
the
no,
thing.
you would have to though.
You don't.
Like, I'm sorry, the movie made it necessary.
I hate it.
I mean, there has to be a way.
I guess they made it so that there has to be a way. That you're acting like this is my fault. This is not my fault. I did not.
No,
want
you're the
this.
one. You're the one who's uncomfortable with it.
It was in Cars 2 that they mentioned ice cream, so, you know, if Cars 2 never happens, then we would never have to deal with this problem.
And also, another small thing, but the cozy cones seem like they're only meant for one.
Mm-hmm.
So is there no car marriage?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no... Are there car babies? And if there are car babies...
Okay, there has to be evidence for a car baby. Somewhere.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Are the mater... Okay.
What if the bugs are car babies?
Those children are unsupervised a lot.
Yeah. Lightning killed tons of car babies.
I just want to beat you in one race. You know, like, that would just be nice.
And you keep picking complicated maps.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do one from Toad's Circuit. This one's super complicated.
What is it? What is that one?
Yours is Toad on crack. Look at his eyes.
My goodness, Sally's a flirt.
She kind of goes overboard.
Didn't she have a thing for the bad guy in Cars 2?
Yeah, like she like, oh man, look at those open, what does she call them?
Yeah, yes.
Open something wheels. I'm like, dude, is the guy wearing a Speedo? Like, what are we talking about right now?
Is it like muscly? Is that what she's? I don't know. I
don't know. Does it mean that he's showing more skin?
Yeah.
Or does it mean that he's jacked?
Yeah.
Well, because then Lightning was like, I thought you liked my clothes wheels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Literally.
A second. Again. Okay. Speed. I am speed. I'm ready.
Wait, yeah. So cars do die. That's confirmed. Cars do die.
Yes. Doc died.
Gosh. Oh, right.
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
So, So then they have graveyards. Do they bury them?
Or is it they call them junkyards?
Yeah. Is it a junkyard or do they have burial grounds?
I don't know.
Oh, he sticks out his tongue so much in the beginning. I hate it. I literally hate it.
What a flirt. 7th race. We got 2 more races. What else do you want to talk about with Cars 2? Or Cars in general, I suppose.
My final thoughts are I think it shouldn't have been a trilogy. And instead should have just stayed as one movie. And
that's probably the best option. I think I can get on board with that.
Oh, a bit off of Cars, but do you like the movie WALL-E?
Yes.
Good,
and
good.
truly, it's probably just the escapism in me. Where it's like, it's just so out there and has nothing to do with our world. Like, it does in the sense that it's dystopian version of our world. But it's just like, it just takes you there, you know?
Yeah. It does, I don't know. I just think the romance is done very well.
It is, it really is.
But it's not in your face. It's not like drowning in love. It's
done better than Cars, for sure.
Oh, a lot better, yeah. Well, Cars wasn't really a romance movie. I'd argue that WALL-E is a romance, like a love.
If you had to make a category, pick a category, it would be romance.
Yeah. Yes. I think it's also pretty, it's like a terrible, destroyed, dirty world, but he's just over there singing songs and playing with pieces of trash. I don't know. I think it's just so pretty, of everything about it, and the romance is done really well. So.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think that movie's better than Cars.
Man, I don't know which ones. I'd have to watch WALL-E again.
Oh, do you like Cars more than WALL-E?
I've seen Cars more recently than WALL-E. So right now, like watching it today, I was like, man, this is really really good. Like I can't tell you the last time I watched Cars I don't think I watched it as an adult. I think I watched Wall-E more recently than I watched Cars. Just seeing all the things they did in Cars, the little things to move McQueen's story along. It's just, man, I was like, man, this movie is really good. So I'll have to watch Wall-E again. Possible teaser? Maybe?
Honestly,
Maybe?
I would be down. I could talk about that movie for a while.
Okay, we've skipped some Pixar movies, but that's okay. We'll go out of order. That's all right. And it's only one movie. That'll be so much easier. So much easier.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you.
Yippee.
I am so hyped to be done with this. This not the conversation. I could talk with you forever about it. But I suck at Mario Kart. I suck at Mario Kart.
Well, if we ever do this again, you just have to practice beforehand.
I know, I do. I have to watch all the Cars movies and practice Mario Kart. Go watch Cars. You know you want to. You feel the need for speed.
Look at that beautiful line. HUD saw something in you that you don't see for yourself. You need to go and find it. That's beautiful.
What are you talking about?
Cars 3.
Oh. No, this is a great line. Well, you know, race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit.
Oh.
Yeah, well, so is my brother, but he still needs headlights. You should use Rusty's if you are over 65 and have a rusty bumper.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I love it.
We're
I'll buy
done.
Rusty's now.
Yes, if you want to buy and see more Rusty's ad rolls, then you should subscribe and like and share the video. And turn on the bell if you'd like to hear more of Rusty's.
And leave a comment below about which Cars is your favorite Cars movie.
Which Rusty's is your favorite? The spray can or the hand applied version? Which for Cars, I don't even know how they would do it. So no, man. You know that they would do it though. Like they probably have a broom leaning up in the corner. Like how would they use that? We don't know.
Comment below, ka-chow, for $500. Free, not a scam.
Ka-chow.